I do think that it would be very interesting for people who are political, and especially political with the things that are touched upon throughout this piece. I think it's because it's an interesting thing to continue to talk about afterwards. I find some of the best theater and film and now podcasts are ones that aren't just when it's over, you're like, well, that was fun, that was great, okay, so where should we go eat? It's great where there's ones where you're gonna leave and be like, yeah, but this guy, he did that, and well, I don't know, she did this, and that was a bit crazy, and to have those conversations afterwards. And so I think people who love to go to movies and theater and listen to these kind of podcasts and want to dissect it and get into it and actually have talks about it over coffee are gonna love this, because there's definitely a lot to chew in there. I'm Dave Droxler. I'm playing the role of Jesse Tyler in Paradisey Now. Jesse Tyler is kind of an awkward guy. He's clearly not very good around the ladies, or at least he doesn't think he is, because he hasn't had many good experiences with them. He's definitely someone who, as he's grown up throughout his life, has always felt that he is a loner, that he's very different than everybody else, because that's what he's always been told. And so it becomes one of those things where you hear that enough times, you just automatically assume that you're the oddball, even though a lot of times these people are saying you're an oddball. They're also oddballs in their own little world. So it's interesting. So he's somebody who's trying to find how he fits into the world. And some of those ways that he found is through religion. And now he's finding how he can fit in by meeting somebody who is not someone he would normally associate himself with. The thing that resonates the most with me through this, because I have found this is something I personally have had an issue with doing throughout my life, is taking responsibility and being like, hey, even though you're a nice guy and you're a nice person, you still have said things that are bad or have done things that are bad. But you have to always be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean this, I was merely meaning this, and have to make up excuses for stuff instead of just being an adult and just owning up to like, hey, I messed up. And so it really resonated with me when we get to the point where there's the climax and he just cannot just say, you're right, I'm sorry. And anytime he does say, oh, you're right, I'm sorry, there's always a but to it. And every time it would happen, I'd be like, oh, dude, come on, don't do that. And I think it just really resonated because I'm like, oh yeah, because I've done that. And that was something that really like struck a chord with me that I found very fascinating and continue to struggle with. So I was very drawn to that aspect to him. I think that he learns from this that even though he tried to keep this relationship strong and happening, that he was just kind of so naive, not only to how it wouldn't work out because of their differences, but just naive to how he was being, that things that he would say and things that he would do and not taking responsibility for it. That I think that because of that, when we find out the final resolution of what happens, I don't think it's up until that point where he really discovers like, oh, this was never meant to work out. Our differences really are going to be an issue, and it's unfortunate that it takes that long, however many months, for him to finally catch on to that, and the way he has to catch on to it is unfortunate for him and for her too, of course.